Astro World. Answer me this. Is this the worst set of conference finals in NBA history? For your thoughts, we can get into it a little later in this stream. Fellas, how we doing this week, man? It's been a crazy week. It's been a total shift in terms of highs to all-time lows right now. People trying to keep the morale up, belly touching the ground, people hurt, people hoping for the best. My goodness.
Is there any more
I
hope
don't
left in this
know.
world?
I don't know what to say at all, but we can get into that and a lot more people's. Welcome to the Astro Bros Hardwood and AstroTurf Talk Show. Peoples, we are glad that you are here with us today. This Monday, 27th of May 2024. Man, how the guys doing, man? I can start with you, Hakeem. How's life?
I felt as if I've been in a horror movie these last couple of days because the job I've been witnessing has been horrific. Like it's been brutal. So I think I'm in a movie. That's the way I feel right now. But other than that, not too bad. Not too bad.
Good stuff. Rayvon, how you doing, brother?
You can skip it today. You can skip it. Oh my goodness.
I know.
You-
I
man,
don't know
it's
where to
been
start,
painful.
but we gotta start somewhere.
You in the sequel too? You must be in the sequel.
I- let me get on with the show. Let me get on with the show.
Look, as always, people, before we dive into anything, a few housekeeping items. Hit that like button if you're in the stream. We appreciate that. Also, feel free to comment at any point in time of the stream, whether you're watching live or you 5 seconds back or more. It doesn't matter. We will try to connect with you that way throughout the stream and after as well. Making any comments on anything. Peoples, let me get into this talk. We can start with the Celtics and the Pacers, just so we don't, get too hard on
Nah,
people's hearts.
let me go right
before-
into it. Let me tackle it head on.
Boom!
Don't shy away from the pain.
All right,
Embrace
you
it.
heard it, peoples. Right, want to get kind of you straight off the bat as a fan of the Timberwolves. You've gone from an extreme high last week. All smells. Heart was on 1,000,000% as it pertains to the prospect of the Timberwolves reaching the NBA Finals. And now, after 3 games at the conference finals, it has looked abysmal for the last couple of days. Talk to me, my brother. As a fan, how you feeling?
Absolutely devastated. Absolutely heartbroken. Absolutely disappointed. I can use a great word. Absolutely horrified. I'm trying to think about another negative word. The Timberwolves have been an extreme letdown. Extreme. I don't know. How can you go from having so much hype coming out? You beat the defending champions. I can't win a game. Just one. Not one.
The pain is real.
Carl Anthony Towns have been absolutely atrocious. I don't know how you could go from being pretty much almost the MVP of the last series and then turn into I don't know, a shot at himself in the next series just like that, just a couple of days away. The
LVP.
coaching, in my opinion, has not been great because I just feel like they can't figure out an answer to get the guys going. I mean,
Hakim
let me say
firing
this,
somebody.
you know it, or trading somebody.
Somebody gotta go. Somebody
Nah,
gotta go.
somebody get fired. You know it be. But yeah, go ahead.
The coaching has been not there. The games have been close, yes. The games have been close, but I feel like you all know, even though the games are close in the fourth quarter, at the end of the day, I feel like everybody has greater belief in Luca and Kyrie bringing home the game in those last 20 minutes every single time. So this kind of like the series from last year, the Western Conference Finals, Lakers versus Nuggets. Yeah, the Lakers play a close series, but everybody knew in their heart that at the end of the day, when the game gets close, the Nuggets are going to bring home, and Mavericks are doing the same thing right now to the Timberwolves. And it's just crazy to see the turnaround. It's crazy to see Anthony Edwards talking a whole big game and not really being able to back it up to the capacity that he should be able to. It's crazy to see Rudy Gobert pretty much getting picked on the defensive end. He's been the defensive player of the year. Yes, all of it is not on him. He's actually not been horrible as the media or the NBA fans may have made it out to be this specific series. But to
Yeah.
me, he's kind of getting outplayed by Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. As defensive player of the year, I got to take some great with that. Daniel Gafford averaging 3 blocks. Blocks is not the only metric, or it's not the determining factor for why you would be great defensively, but it shows some level of dominance and some, some character in terms of your mentality or the fear that you could impart on a game. 3 blocks a game for Daniel Gafford on this series. Only 1 block a game for Rudy Gobert. Like, come on. Nas Reed has been the only man on the Timberwolves that's really, really, really putting out some fight. And he needs some help. Somebody get Nas Reed some help. I don't understand. Nas, you had 2 exceptional games from 2 of your role players. From what this whole thing the playoffs go. At some point, you need your role players to step up and have big games. The Timberwolves got that from the role players in Nas Reed and Jaden McDaniels. Matter of fact, Jaden McDaniels in the last 2 games of the Denver series and the first
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
and the first game of this series, he gives you all those games of greatness, and the star players on the team can come back him up. Essentially, that you only get few of those funny role players. You can't let those go to waste. Nasri had a 7 3-point night. Let that go to waste. Like, come on, something has to change. You telling me nothing changed? No, the ain't finding no success for nothing. I mean, it could get a little bit nitty gritty and analytical was what's going on, but I don't want to. I just feel like at
You
some point
have
you
to.
gotta say no.
You
At
have
some
to.
point you
The
gotta
fans
say
want to know.
no, but I talking about in terms of the X and O's of the game. I just want to remove that right now. And this a matter of pride of how the season went, what you've overcome. You can't come and get sweet. You can't come and get sweet. That's one of my biggest things. I heard comments of Auntie Ever saying that he feel like it's not over, but he ain't playing like it's not over to me.
Yeah.
That you got
I
you
mean,
got you got
I won't be so hard on Ant Man. It's not like he's been disastrous.
Well,
It's
he
not. He's
hasn't
not.
been great. He's made a lot of really bad mistakes, especially in the final moments. And let me say this: that has been a problem for them all year. So it is not outside of their character to me. But I felt as though they've overcome a lot of the things that was a problem for them in these first 2 playoff series, and they're kind of reverting back.
Especially the last one.
Yeah, kind of reverting back. Even though in the Nugget series that was a little bit unusual. Most games were blows, but I feel that you were able to impose your defensive identity on the Nuggets. Why can't you do the same against the Mavericks? I know Cat, as I said, Cat Cat would have been the problem in this specific matchup because who is he going to guard? We are seeing him kind of losing some level of identity because he don't got Jokic to guard. He don't got a big player to guard like in the other 2 series. He guard Jokic, he guard KD. KD can be shooting around the rim, He could do his stuff in terms of defensively standing in front of KD. Jokic can try to bang, he got the size to be able to do it. No, in this series, he don't really got a role to fill in that end. So to me, he's lost on defense, and that's breaking on the team defense as well. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but I just feel like the heart gotta be there more. They want it gotta be here. The locked inness, for lack of a better word, gotta be there more
Mhm.
for you not to lose the games because they gotta execute. You gotta execute, and the men just ain't doing it. And that is that was plaguing me after seeing such greatness from them uh throughout the first two series. It just turned into a dud, and it's sad to see. I felt like Dallas would have been a good matchup for the team in terms of having the personnel to guard Luca and Kyrie, but clearly that is not the case. They, they were
That's a
only
funny
designed to build the
statement.
Nuggets.
That's a funny
They were
statement.
only they were only built to beat the Nuggets. It seems so.
When you say guard, you mean double team, right?
I mean everything.
Yeah,
I just thought that they would have
prevent those
been
boys from cooking.
to
Bro.
some level of degree. They have the individual players in my head. They had the individual players in my head, and the
Yeah.
team defense, the defensive concept in my head to be able to match up with the team somewhat decent. Kyrie can still get his KD. I mean, Luka can still get his,
Luka.
but I thought they had enough to make it difficult. That has not been the case all series now. You guys could take it.
Boy. I feel like that's more credit to Luca and Kyrie than the actual defensive players because, like you said, man can't miss. And I just think that the Mavs offense have been more stable than Timberwolves. Like they've had good looks and they've not scored them, and that's also been a part of why they've been having these close games. They were up
True.
one of these games plus 10 points. I think it was game two.
It's game two. There was
How
18.
I don't
Yeah.
know how the guys lost the game. I was so confused, but at the same time I was happy. Over to you though, Hakim, before we get into it.
I feel like not feel. This series has been entertaining from game one to game three. The games were close. I can't say they were blowout games.
Mhm.
I could nitpick various reasons why I think the Timberwolves lost the game. But the first reasons I mentioned, Carl Anthony Towns has been the LVP of this season. Sorry, this series, least valuable player. He has been
The man
he,
will create,
he,
the man will create
he,
one.
he has been struggling. He has exhibited a masterpiece in how to be a
Awful.
choke job artist. Like to be shooting 14%, I think, from the three, and still
Yeah.
jacking them three after three after three. I know they say that's a quality of great players. When you miss, you still be confident and you still take the game at the mantle and don't waver in the spotlight and take your threes, take your shots. If you have an open look, make it. You practice those shots and one will fall, but they've not been falling. So I would like him to regress a little and just deviate from the three, go back to the mid range, or matter of fact,
It needs to
go
be
for
subbed.
dunks, go for dunk something. I don't mind it being sub. There was a point in time in the game too. They had their best chance when he was actually off the court and Nasrid was taking control. So like you might got to slot in Nasrid there. But I think the games were close. Carter Towns has been disappearing. Anthony Edwards has been, as everyone said, not great, but not terrible. He's just been in between, especially how we seen him play in the first two series. I think his decision making has been a bit shaky, but there's a saying that fatigue makes cowards of us all, and I think he's just tired. Having to guard Kyrie has been a like mission impossible.
He said
So
he
I
was
don't.
good though. After the
He,
games, he said he was good.
of course, he's a confident
So
player. The man has to talk. He's confident. He can't show weakness, but it is
nah,
clear
if you say you good, you good.
he, he is no Tom Cruise. This is mission impossible. He doing right now. He can't keep up Curry. Curry. I watched these last three games, and I keep getting amazed to see the kind of layups and finishes at the rim Curry is capable of, and he's been doing. Like he takes these fouls and make a layup. Take these fouls and off the backboard. Like he makes almost all the shots, no matter who's guarding him. I'm just amazed. Like how is that talent? Is that skill? Is he practicing these shots? Is it just like he has a God given talent and just he just knows exactly the angles? But the man is not missing, right? So that level of competency has made it extremely difficult for the Timberwolves to keep pace. And then when you and as exacerbated by the fact that Carney Towns and Anthony Edwards have been struggling, it makes it all the more difficult. Luca Luca has stepped up in this series. Luca has truly stepped up. Kyrie was ready in the first
On
game.
one
Kyrie
leg,
set
you. On one leg.
oh yeah that play was crazy. Kyrie set the tone for the first game in the first half. Luca said, "All right, I got you. I understand how this game is going. Say less. Let me match your energy. Match." And they made a synergy right now. I don't. We gotta create a name for these two players, right? But they have been killing it. And also, what has to be said, the Dallas Mavericks are clearly targeting Rudy Gobert. Rudy cannot keep up with these guys, and they're clearly doing the pick and roll, and they're setting up
Yeah,
Rudy.
dragging them out.
Lob City.
Exactly.
Yep.
They're dragging into perimeter, switching him off, and then he's guarding Luca or guarding these other players he can't keep up with. And that was a well executed play in the end of game two, I think it was. I mean, Luca hit that step back three, hop on one leg.
Well,
It it was coming.
it was a good play. I feel like Gobert defended as well as he could. I don't think
Yeah,
like
he did. He
it
did.
was
He did.
horrible defense because he contested shot. Like
Exactly.
it just
Exactly.
look at just hit
He's
a
just too
back
slow.
shot.
As Luca
Yeah,
said, I can't move fast, but I can move faster than him. He did that's all he needed. That's all he needed to do. That's all he needed to do, right? Luca been trash talk crazy.
Uh,
But
got it right to do. Stay winning. So
exactly. And I can't blame Rudy on that. But I have realized through this series, Rudy has been getting cooked. He has been getting cooked
has been.
from everyone. And
There's
it
many real
almost as
players that come in again say, "Yo, cook food, bring it here, look, bring it here." Make calling for pick like, come on, B. Come
I guess the
on,
defensive player
man.
of the year. So it's like I just think Rudy's skill set doesn't it's not geared to defend Luca, Kerry, PJ Washington, any of these players for the most part. They're not really they're is Lob City and they're dragging out Gobert and then to defend Luca and then Luca just passing the ball for lob to Gafford or Derek Lively. So it's like Rudy's in a tough spot. As you said,
Yeah, he is
Nasri's been the only consistent player. Nasrid has been he's been saving
second
this.
best player in the team.
He's
Yeah,
keeping his team. He's been keeping his team in the game. But at the same time, I don't want to discredit Timberwolves. Although they're down 3-love, which is awful. Not gonna lie. They could have won game two, and game three was definitely
they
winnable.
should
All the
have
games, but
won game two.
they should have.
yep.
And I think Edwards just made a bad play.
One head
I don't
play.
I
One head.
don't know. It's like he got nervous. I think I said it's fatigue. Once and they you don't want to use that as an
That's
excuse for a
good.
professional player. But it's clearly a habit fatigue because that's uncharacteristic of him, and it cost him the game.
I don't think
He,
that you giving the defense of the Mavs
I watched
good
that play.
credit
I
on
watched
that
that play
play
about
though,
10. I
because
watched the play about 10 times. B. It was Nasri. I think Nasri was in the corner.
Yeah,
He was in the corner. Then he walked. He jogged or he trotted up, halfway up the lane, and then at that point in time, I think he went back a little, and then Anthony Edwards threw the ball. So if
but that's when he was free though. Not so.
he was free the entire time. It's just that he threw the ball when Nasri was no longer there,
he decided
and
to
then it was
move. Yeah,
yeah. And the thing is, normally they don't. I don't know why Nasri would move in that spot there. He had
well,
normally in the corner, you hug the corner,
because
might move a little, but he moved extremely far up the lane,
yeah,
and I
because there
didn't
was
expect that.
somebody else in the corner as well. There were two Timber. I think it was Jaden and Nas.
No, I
So
don't think
he
so.
was
I think it was
occupying two. No, it was two. It was two players in the corner. It was Jaden and Nas. So he was trying to relocate further. I thought so that he could create a better passing. I ain't go for Ant, but Ant to me there was more Ant than more Nasri because I could see why he would move from that spot given the space that was being created based on the drive that he made. So if he wanted to swing to the corner, he could have swing to the corner and then they would swing it back to the top of the to the I would call that like the free throw line that extended at the 3-point line.
Mhm.
to Nasri. So I understand Nasri's movement in that case. It was just a bad pass from Ant, to be honest. He went up in the air and he had no way to go and throw it away. I can't blame Nas
Oh,
on that one.
I was
Can't
thinking
remember
about
the year.
a
I think it's
different
turned. I
player.
think he just
Okay.
turned around. Oh, yeah, I think he went the ear a little. But
Mhm.
I said, I guess we might remember it differently. I remember Nasrid it was only him in the corner. I don't know. At the same time, maybe he moved the lanes. Someone else rotated off the baseline. But to me, I
Mhm.
remember I was like, ask myself, what would Nasrid move? I can't put all the blame on. Well, I can't put the blame on everything. In my opinion, because Nasrid was open and they don't. I remember it differently. I remember him moving, and he didn't need to at least move that for it. But ultimately,
Mm.
I'm gonna hold the blame. He's not going to really, how you say, receive the blame because he's the franchise player right now. He's playing. He's technically the main reason where they are in the conference finals. So they're going to try to like look over that. I'm pretty sure Chris Finch say, "Yo, bro, come on, you gotta do better, bag you." But that was a terrible play ultimately, and that cost him game two. And that you can't lose two games at home. You just can't. So to go down two
I mean,
love
you
at home,
can, you
you
can, you
can't.
just can't go on
But
tree love. You just can't go on tree love and to do it.
lose most teams don't lose two love at home. You lose two love away and they come back and even the series. But to lose two love at
But that
home,
happened in the previous series.
yes, we know that. We know how it turned out. But that's uncharacteristic. Yeah, you can even say Timberwolves might have choked in game three. That should have happened if you get what I'm saying. But
I'll
they
just
don't
go
three
back to my point last week when I was saying home court don't really
Yeah, I just
mean
can't say.
much.
Yeah, in these last few playoffs, home court hasn't been that big of a factor as people can make it out to be. To be honest, so
Yeah.
given the current state of basketball and the past few seasons, I don't put that much emphasis on home court as much as it should. Yes, you should win your home games, but going on 2-0 is fine in my opinion. Just can't go on three.
I
you
agree.
you could
Yeah.
get back one at the other players at the other team's court, but uh let me get this question. Shout out to Danielle for messaging the guys in the chat. She's
Big up yourself.
asking, what are our views on the outer bound rules? Does it need to be changed? The commentator said on one of the games that if you're going to replay to make it the right call, I think you are referencing the play when
Game two,
Kyrie Fo
Jalen
McDaniels,
yeah, and the
yeah,
ball went off.
but the ball went off of McDaniels. They replayed it for the outer bounds call specifically.
Yeah,
I
Because that was the
does it.
call on the court. That's why they only replayed that. But I mean,
but he hit the, we can
if
say he
you
hit. Kerry hit the man clearly careful, and that's what caused the
yeah,
ball.
but the whistle was not for the foul, so the ref didn't see the foul. The whistle
But it's,
was for the
You
outbound.
they see, oh,
yeah, they saw it. They just say that something in the rule, but something in the rules say we can't recognize it. But they saw the foul. That was one of those strange calls. Cause
Right. Because the review is not for the foul. The review is for the out of bounds play. So you
you got
gotta be
you got
honest to
supersede
say,
that.
all right, we reviewing. Nah, you can't just
Then, so then so, so
supersede
then so then so
what the
then
man reviewing.
you create a loophole where you can say, all right, I want the ball. Me fold this man. If I me push him out of bounds to
Come
get the
on,
ball.
Hakim. That's ridiculous. Obviously, you will get the whistle for the foul.
You
Come
create a
on now.
loophole. You
Come
can
on
slap
now.
his hand. You can slap his hand. Then you see him carry there. You can slap his hand to get the ball out and then get the ball, get your call. You create a loophole. That was party play. So that
so
call to me. Mhm.
this is a tough thing because I understand both sides in this case. You are this is the whole point behind the coach's challenge. The coach's challenge allows you to challenge a specific call and only
Mhm.
that. So the expectation or the referees have to enforce is just the specific call. They can't use it to go back and look at any other things. So many other things will be happening on the court. Like maybe in that one shot, Jada McDaniels get fouled, Rudy Gobert get fouled too. You can call all them fouls, you can't. But at the same time, I understand like it seems so counterintuitive that you're replaying something that's showing you something that you miss, but you can't go back and make the make the adjustment to make the right call in the first place. Like that's the
I,
crazy part of me
I will actually give a exception to this case because it is so close and the out of bounds is a consequence of the
of the foul.
project foul. So if you
Mhm.
see it right there in the play, like the thing that you're replaying,
Mhm.
and that's the source of what you're trying to
The other
review.
bones. Exactly.
It's not like
Yeah.
a whole two
Yeah.
seconds back
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
what.
Unrelated. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very related.
exactly. So I could get that, but I can't say, all right, we can now change the rules and be like, let me review the play and
Every
look at the
single thing.
entire
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
should,
Yeah.
you said they should make,
because that would be ridiculous.
as you said, they should make an exception, like amendment, a special case in those kind of scenarios, because
Yeah.
I think now there's a loophole. Legitimately speaking, I think they've created a loophole that a
I
player
don't think so. I just think that
that
that's a case where it just so happens. I don't think that that's a loophole in any scenario.
you see those players. You see that player from New Orleans, Alvarez. Players
Mhm.
like players of his type,
Alvarado.
Alvarado.
Pickpocket
He can
boss.
he can start implementing. There's players who like to implement these things on defense just to be clever to get advantages in any form or fashion. I can see players like him
Mhm.
doing that.
But yeah, I think
All
what
right,
they can
so
do is amend it to say if you are challenging the play and there is a violation that is a direct result in the play going against your team, or a prayer violation that causes, or there's some sort of violation that causes another violation essentially, then
mhm.
it should be considered. They should be able to amend it to something like that.
That's fair.
But here's another take too. Is Mavericks that answer for the replay for the outer bounds. No, if
Yeah,
them get penalized, all right,
for
so
challenging.
it's not off
Yeah,
a Maverick,
that's a funny thing.
but
Yeah,
them challenge it and then get penalized for a foul.
yeah,
No, you either gotta give back the challenge to them so as to be fair, and then give the foul and you play from the sidelines or whatever with the clock still at the same time. I think that's the most fair thing that you could do if you
Mm,
try to penalize Mavericks for the foul. But outside of that, I can't see you giving McDaniels or whoever
yeah.
will
Free
be in a
throws are saying
similar
that.
scenario free throws
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
that. So there's little nuances that
yeah.
you
A
got to
lot, not a
consider
little, a
of,
lot of
of what
nuances that you
should
got.
be fair.
Exactly,
Yeah,
because suppose it was a case where Kyrie get pushing it back that caused he to fall with Daniels no. So now you got two other things that is cause of this. You know what I say?
it's a
Two other
rabbit
things that
hole.
impacted
For sure, it's a
the
rabbit
final
hole.
play. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and I mean the question here is should we consider reviewing the outer bounds rules? No, and Hakim, you made a point of people being clever and stuff like that and trying to change the rules to avoid that. No, I've seen many a times players will be almost out of bounds, ball in the air, obviously, and then would just throw the ball on the other player. No, people will say that that's being clever, and people will say that that's fair. That's smart thinking. So now, if you want to change rules for certain things, now you gotta look at a whole spectrum of things that could happen that people already, try to use the rules to their advantage to, I guess, get an advantage on the other team. So is like I said, is a lot of things that you gotta consider if you want to make rule changes.
no, really.
So we good
You
on
could
that
say the Wolves
even.
can win a
Cool.
game.
Pardon?
uh, I think they should. I
You
think
Yeah,
they
said if
should.
if they will win a game, if the Wolves will win a game.
honestly, I don't see the series as over. I could see this series. I could still see it getting to 7 games. To be honest, I'm not. That
That's a
seems
stretch.
it seems like a stretch.
That's a
But let's not
stretch.
forget that when it happened 2 years ago. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was
with the
2 years ago.
Celtics and Heat.
Yeah, and when Celtics was down, Celtics were down 3-love, right? So I don't want to
Yeah.
count anything as it's over. And it's similar to the Lakers series versus Nuggets. They weren't outclassed, right?
The
It
Celtics was
just
down through. Oh yeah, and then he's come
in
back.
the
Yeah,
Heat, yeah, conference finals. So similar to the Lakers versus Nuggets, the Lakers lost. The Lakers are down 3-love. They got a game, yes, and they lost 4-1. But it's not like every game they lost 3-love they were outclassed. But obviously, Timberwolves are a much better team. They defeated the Nuggets, and they're playing Dallas. So I do believe that Timberwolves have the enough quality to still bring home the bacon, or at least get it a little crispy. And I was optimistic as a Wolves fan, is that you would hope, or you would think, that Carl Anthony Towns cannot play any worse. That's it. You would say this man can't play any worse. I'll be honest. With the odds of that, like he would, if he could play any worse, he needs to be reevaluated, get a psychologist, and just see what's going on, right? Before he become a Ben Simmons. He will become Ben Simmons 2.0. That's the truth. That's the way I'm looking right now, right? So he can improve. You know, Ant is going to improve. He's going to still like go lock in. You know, he can't. It'd be damaging to his legacy. Still very young player, of course. To imagine he's being compared to MJ a couple weeks ago, and don't be compared to
To
I can't
Jordan
remember
Poole.
let's say Jordan Poole, right? In the span of 2 weeks, that's wild. So I think he's gonna lock in. So I do see him against the wins. Uh, what's his name? Nasri is gonna be consistent. Rudy Gobert they have to find a scheme for Rudy Gobert because he's not really contributing in my opinion at this point in time. And they, they gotta find something for Rudy Gobert to do. But
Yeah.
I do believe they're gonna get some wins and gonna step up, and let's see how this game 4 goes, and then we go from there.
Uh, quick from me. Um, ultimately, I think the Timberwolves are the better team. Truthfully, I think anybody could see that. I feel like they've beat themselves more than the Mavericks have beat them to some extent because the games have been close, and a lot of the reasons why they lose the games because of some sort of stupid mistake that they're making either on the defensive end and especially on the offensive end. I gotta give some credit to the Dallas defense. The Dallas defense have been really good, but I still think ultimately most of it is one. Timberwolves gained some pretty good looks and just clanking these shots. To be honest, uh, two poor decision making from Ant a lot of times. So I still think the Wolves are the better team. I think they might get a game, but I don't think they'll come by and win the series. Really and truly, they have been super underwhelming too much. That's a very big hole to come out of. This team has been resilient all season. I've watched them all season long, up to the point of this playoffs. They hadn't lost more than 2 games in a row. Uh, usually, they're usually a good bounce back team. They're usually a good team on the road. But in this series, none of that has bared out to be true. So I think they win a game, but I highly doubt they win any more than a game.
I can see this going to game 6.
I can see a lot of things, but that ain't mean it happen.
I can see it. You know, in game 4,
I should be the more optimistic person here, but these
you,
men
you're
ain't
gonna win.
giving me no heart.
They're gonna win game
Hakeem
4.
only care about his prediction, Rayvon. You already know Hakeem. Hakeem just Hakeem like God. My prediction is garbage. Hakeem just want a few wins.
Ah,
That's all he worry about right now. Look,
Yeah, I can see them in game 4. And play back at home. Yeah. I see it going.
Hakeem killing me. All right, look. Here's my take on it.
mhm,
Like I've been involved in sports for a long time, and as a competitor, you know how sometimes you are you're the better team on paper, or the team that is expected to win, maybe not by blow, but because of your history, or because of how you've carried yourself throughout the season. You are that team that people are looking forward to see perform.
mhm,
But in sports, there's always a matchup that has that same setup to it, where you're the team that is looking to win, or expected to win, but for some reason a particular team you can't overcome. And it seems like no matter what you do, you just can't find all the pieces for this particular team. I think this is the case with the Mavericks and the Timberwolves from what I've seen so far. Because like you said, Rayvon, they have enough talent, enough pieces on the defensive and offensive end to get the job done. For some reason, somehow, and it's been three different games. One game you had McDaniels going off. Yes, you ain't had a lot of support from the players that you expect the level of support from, but at the same time, in that first game, Ant wasn't so
Game.
horrible, like Hakim mentioned. But you know, all the pieces didn't come together for the entire team for them to make it happen, even though the game was close. Then you had Naz Reid going berserk. And then on that final shot, when they trusted him with that shot, he just didn't get it to go. Otherwise, that would have been a win too. And it seems like no matter what the Timberwolves do at this point, even though the games are close, and yes, people argue it's fourth quarter closeout. You know, you got Kyrie, you got Luca.
Yeah,
These
Luca's
are
been
players
dominant in the fourth quarter
that
too.
can live, yeah, that can live for the fourth quarter. But I think it's also an element of the matchup and the type of matchup that it is, that's causing pain and is or I guess what one says that it could be thought of that Mavericks wouldn't beat the Nuggets necessarily on paper, but they could beat Timberwolves. But at the same time, Timberwolves could beat Nuggets. You know what I
The
mean? So
Nuggets.
it's
Mhm.
it's like this triangle thing always pops up every single time
In the playoffs.
there's competition
Yeah.
where there's one team that for some reason gets the job done and the other team, the favorite, can't do anything much about it. So I honestly hope for the series sake that Timberwolves get one at least. Um, but I think Mavericks got this. And there's the one thing we haven't mentioned yet is that in order for well, not in order for it's not a sentence. No. If Timberwolves win, it will stop Kyrie closeout game streak. This is one thing we haven't mentioned so far. What you guys think about that? You think is up to Kyrie and the Mavericks to seal the deal in this game to keep that streak alive, or you think Timberwolves and Ant would be the first people to stop that streak, that closeout game streak?
I think
Um,
you already know my take on it. I do believe he's not gonna go for love. I just don't see it happening. They're gonna squeeze out a game and then go back home and bring it back and then come back to Dallas for game six. So Curry's streak is he's over.
um,
And Derek
I
Lively
don't
is
have
gone.
much.
I do see it. There was a difference when Derek Lively left the game. There was a difference in how Timberwolves were playing, and that's when they went on the tear and actually started to lead in the game. So I do believe Derek Lively being out, I think he has a neck sprain,
Yeah,
is gonna create
that's
some
gonna.
stress on Gafford because Gafford's gonna have to play more minutes, I assume, and we see how he handles that.
I just feel like momentum is counts for so much. Um, in the NBA. I kind of lost a little bit of that belief because the Wolves have been playing like they had no momentum. They should have the biggest momentum to
Yeah,
everybody and left in the playoffs to just beat the defending champions. But with a look at this series specifically, even if they stop Kyrie's streak, I still don't think they can win. I've
Mhm.
lost belief. They have given me no great sign of hope to to hold on to. Um, other
even
than
Anthony Edwards slam, dunk on Gafford.
in the moment, yes. But all right, you was up just like every other game. You was up in the fourth quarter. At some point, you can't hold on to the lead. You can't start Kyrie. Kyrie running around go a beer like he's a corn. Um, Luca hitting stat box on people like nobody the men don't exist. Like At the end of the
I
day,
don't know how you're
what
going to
part it
stop
comes
the
down,
step backs
y-
because
y-
the way how
yeah,
he shoot the ball, it seems like even if you got your hand above your head, because
it
he's
don't really
playing
matter.
more back,
But a big thing,
his rim is over.
the guy's not, like any Denver series, Jokic could do all that stuff like Lucas do, but they were able to find a way to
Mm,
take away the Jokic pass because they were locked in on their off ball assignments. It's been quite
Yeah,
sloppy. I mean, Luka is making some exceptional passes, really and true, really and truly. But
yeah,
it's just a tough cover. It just really is, and they're not executing it to the highest degree that they would need to be able to have some success stopping it. Um, but going back to your question, I don't. It's difficult to me to believe one and to see they're coming back from this tree love hole either to win one, two to break Kyrie's streak. They would possibly do it. I feel like they could win a game, but
mm.
just the momentum, just all in Dallas in Dallas favor. And if there's any game that I think they will win, is a game away from Timberwolves home court, probably on the Dallas Mavericks court because they seem to like to win on the road, in my opinion.
What I gotta be the game tomorrow night then, so I guess we
Probably.
just wait and see what happens.
Mhm.
After the net series, I think we've milked that and I've kind of have fun with that discussion just because
Yeah.
um Celtics and Pacers. Not not a horrible series either. It's just that the fact that the Celtics are up 3-0 make it seem like if like it's a horrible series. But the first game went to overtime,
Yeah, that was fun.
and
That was a great game.
Celtics came out on top. I think game three also was it game three or game two was a fairly close game up to like a minute or so left, and then Celtics showed out. Some big clutch plays by what's his name from Bucks. Name's slipping me right now.
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. Yeah, some big plays from him. And Al Hofford in support to keep the Celtics going. Jalen Brown had an insane
Had a crazy
game.
game.
It was like a 40-point plus game. He was going off. Tatum was passing like I don't know how behind the back all over the place, like just splitting defenses. And Pacers, even though their defense isn't as top tier as the Celtics, they've still been able to keep that pace up in terms of offensive um, prowess,
Execution. Yeah.
for,
Mhm.
for lack of better terms.
Mhm.
So thoughts on that series so far, and how you see it playing out. You think Pacers would get one? Like you think Timberwolves would get one?
Um, it's hard to see. No, they Tyrese Halliburton out tonight again.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't think Pascal Siakam hasn't been super dominant in any of the games. I would say I don't see him, kind of taking over game. They need to take over for someone. They kind of had it in the last game where Andrew Nemhard, he had 37 points, and to me that was heroic because he turned into Kyrie. If you ask me, he was cooking. But
Yeah.
the Celtics team just better than this team. On they could match more the offense and they're better on defense. So I just think
it's a
that
wrap.
we just got the
Sounds like a
recipe
wrap.
to win this series just on that alone. And that's the first thing he said when we talked about it last week. Celtics just Celtics on par to better on offense and definitely better
Yeah,
on defense. So the advantage just on their side, they would take a super shooting night like the the Pacers did in game seven of the next series for them to win the game. Like they had to shoot like above 60% from the field to be able to beat the Celtics in this one. And I thought one of those actually, you know what? The Celtics due for a stinker shooting game. The Celtics due for a stinker shooting game. It's possible for the Pacers
not two though.
because they
T-
probably not two, but the Celtics due for a stinker shooting game. It's possible, but
I don't think so. I
it's
think it's
possible,
I
but
think it's
unlikely. Let me say that.
yeah.
Given how they've
Honestly,
been playing,
Jalen and Tatum and like that whole cast to me informed. The way I was seeing them playing, that whole cast informed. And if they come out with this, it's scary looking for the finals. Go ahead, Hakim.
I feel like well, me first, me hit the bottom line. This series is a wrap. Most definitely. This as I said, the Celtics on their way to the NBA finals and they will lose to whoever plays them in the from the West. I stand on business when I say that. No matter who
I
it
agree.
is, they lose into the West. That's my take. Now that being said, this team has outclassed and is better than the Pacers in every capacity. The best chance that the Pacers did have to win was in game one, and
Yep.
they blew their opportunity, and
Tyrese.
that could have changed the momentum of this series, where it could have ended up going 6 games potentially, never know even if seven. I do believe the Celtics would have got a little flustered. They might have choked on
Mhm.
game two. And let me just say, Tatum choked on game two. Tatum was Tatum was awful in game two. Jalen Brown saved that team. Jalen Brown stepped up and said,
I,
"Yo, this is my team right now. This is matter of fact,
exactly.
we gonna have a debate. Whose team is it? Whose team is it really? Because
I just say
because
this all the time.
Tatum goes missing in the playoffs. Like he's going missing at the wrong times.
Jalen Brown plays to me with more heart, more fervor, more tenacity, more. I don't even know all the words to show like great
Passion.
leadership. Yeah, passion
Yeah.
than Jason Tatum 90% of the time, in my opinion. Even though Jalen Brown may have a bad shooting night or whatever, I just don't feel like it takes away from his aggression the way that Jason Tatum just becomes passive and docile and
I
you
feel
know,
like
Hundred
stay
that
percent.
away
comes down
from
to
the moment.
personality though.
Yeah,
He probably
I think
embraces
so.
the Celtics mascot a little too much, being a leprechaun, just shrinking in the moment, fading away.
Well, I don't know what it was about it, and I feel like I've had a debate about this. We had a debate about this like, on a House Bro stream couple maybe last year or so,
Mhm.
about Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown. And I felt like I picked Jalen Brown because I just feel that he has the intangibles when it comes to what you want from a player that is supposed to lead your team. Like Jason Tatum has the skill set in terms of the basketball skill set,
Yeah,
but
everything for sure, most
Jalen
definitely.
Brown has the heart, in my opinion,
And he
and
has the mentality, that which is the most
yeah, the
important part.
mentality. Yeah, in my opinion. So I don't think Jason Tatum would ever live up to the player that we think that he could be, given the tools that he has as a player, physical attributes and skill, because his mentality will always put him back, and they will always leave room for that debate because Jalen Brown plays with so much more heart and has a stronger mental from the outside looking into me. Um, when it comes to showing up on the court, even though the game might be bad, even though the odds might be against them, he's willing to fight.
Mm.
Uh, just didn't. I can't say the man gives up, but it's easy to see. It's easy to feel that he is not there
Yeah,
too much, too often.
he's not making the impactful plays. He's
Yeah,
not trying to. If he's not scoring, he says, "Oh yeah, today's not my night." He still is going to try, but it's just he just realized, "All right, it's not my night." He's
yeah,
not able to change his game plan, how to get an easy bucket, or how to
mhm,
just find a way to impact the game. Whether it's assists, rebounds, defense, it's just he shrinks. But back to game two, I said Tatum was awful, and Jalen Brown stepped up as he rightfully should have, and he even called out Tatum in let's say a diplomatic way. He said they had to step up to JT, till JT got his head on. JT was absent. That was the post game interview. So he knows his teammate, and Tatum would have taken it to heart because Tatum stepped up in game three and
yeah. He did.
ended
He
with
cut them boys.
36 points. So he almost had a triple double. So he really stepped up, and that was good to see. But
Mhm.
this series has been is a wrap from day one. I mean, it was over. So Celtics already got to be looking inside the finals. I don't see Pacers even getting a fourth game. If they do, that's by the grace of God. But this series is over. This they could look onto the finals and try to create a game plan for who they might have to play, and then go from there.
It's funny how man got no faith at all in Pacers,
Well,
but
wait, this primarily
all
just
the faith in
in
Timberwolves.
results. I got
Yeah,
little faith in Timberwolves here, but
Well, you have to have, but
like,
I mean, well, I know where Hakim's come from anyway, so it, like all he takes is just just align with his predictions. Like,
I believe,
why
I
not?
believe, I believe my prediction. I believe in what I did. It's not my
Why not?
business.
Exactly.
When the
I understand,
Nuggets, when the
understand.
Nuggets 3-2 lead, I didn't waver. I stood strong, stand on business, and Timberwolves came home. Same here.
That was so close though. I I ain't gonna lie. That was the most disappointing game 7, but we ain't here to talk about
Yeah.
that. I, I can digress before I get ahead. My take on it though is that I agree. I agree that Pacers don't have enough to get them over the hump for Celtics. And if history holds true and presents itself, pops its head out again in the Celtics camp, they could possibly have one. But this time I feel like them stinker might be out of range right now,
Mm,
based on how the series went so far.
mm.
Um, plus they got a guy who got a ring in the camp that could help them this time around in
The
Drew Holiday.
thing, I just
And
can't say Drew Holiday been the Pacers have given Drew Holiday offensive confidence, and that is a recipe for disaster for them because he already that first game he dropped 20 something on their head. When's the last time you see Drew Holiday score over 20 points? Like, come on,
it's not very often. That's
and
for
shoot it
sure.
from three and diamond up. Like the last time we see Drew Holiday play, that probably it was on the road to the finals and winning championship. That's one of the he had some good offensive performances, but since then he hasn't really been great offensively, and the
Yeah,
Pacers poor defense gave him that confidence.
Yep, yep.
yeah. So
But one
I think
question,
I think tonight would be end of the road. Yeah, go ahead.
I believe you too. I feel so too. But question, this maybe jumping the gun a little. But after tonight's victory to the Celtics, or let's say game 5, right? Let's say game 5, and I said I'm jumping
Game
the gun.
5.
Means if they do make it to game, if Pacers do make it to game 5 and they still lose,
Mhm.
I saw this when the Celtics get to the NBA Finals and they lose the series. What next for Tatum and Brown? Like, do we keep them together again? Which we've had this debate before. I can't see them splitting, but like who should the third piece be? Like, what's next for them? Because they gotta feel like they're in a
They
never
got the
ending
whole chessboard.
nightmare.
What piece you
Yeah,
talking about?
They must feel like they're in a never ending nightmare right now. This is like
Them got
keep
the
going.
whole chessboard. I think them get rid of the pieces that them needed to get rid of. That I think arguably we could argue that certain players cost them some pivotal games
don't
in
pick Shay,
recent
Marcus Smart,
years.
Marcus Smart.
I didn't want to call
You
the
know,
names, bro.
calling names,
But
yeah, for the team.
but
What he can do you?
yeah,
I mean,
ain't
you'll
doing
put the
nothing.
blame
But
on Marcus Smart. Like in every series, Tatum had a stinker, Jalen Brown had a stinker. Maybe
but
not as bad.
but you have to know that certain team. Well, I shouldn't say certain teammates, but many teammates make certain decisions on a consistent basis in consistent scenarios where it matters a lot. You gotta expect the team morale to drop a little bit. You can't
Fear,
expect me to keep hope in something
fear.
that's disaster every single time.
But let's not digress though. If they still lose the finals, which I have them to lose, I'm going on record. I have them to lose unless some injury happens to the team, the opposing team, some catastrophic
You on
injury.
record since last week, buddy. Don't worry. We got you covered.
Who, what do you do with the Celtics? Do they run it back, or they like
Run it
Oh,
back
let
again?
just
why
stop?
not? I
Oh,
don't
run it back
understand why.
again.
I don't understand why not. First of all, Chris Stop's not even playing. By the way, Chris Stop's been out.
Yeah.
pretty much most of
Playoff.
the playoffs so
Yeah,
far.
most playoffs.
Run it back, Hakeem. Nobody getting
It's
finals.
just running back. Really and truly. They make it the
All right.
finals again. That's two finals in 3 years.
The East will get stronger. Just remember that the East and get stronger somehow. Some things doesn't
Who
happen. The East and get stronger. I'm telling you,
Who going to the East?
some somebody going to the East. I know the East and get stronger. Some big team gonna be next big team with the East and you be like, yo, take a step back. I didn't see this coming. I knew it coming. I knew it coming. I on record. It's coming.
I mean, you got
who
space in the East for another big
who
team, so
I don't know if
what
it's
what
I
your
don't know if it's gonna
record
be
is?
70. I don't know if it's gonna be
Who you
76ers.
gonna say
If
who?
it's gonna be the Bucks, but there will be a team that's coming in the East. Mark my word. The East is not gonna be as simple as it is last year.
76ers.
it's
That's what it
getting feisty, boy.
That's what the Pacers series should have been.
is. That's
Nah,
hilarious.
can't need to take a picture of them, but I get feisty. Winnie
Cat,
was a game there, so for the man.
let's see what you did
Don't
there.
understand.
Cat Cat can get feisty and he can be in a lot of foul trouble. So
That's
it's
the next
best
thing.
not play.
He gets
It's
some lot of
best
foul
not
trouble.
play Cat for your best chances of getting that one game.
No, you can't do
To
that.
I
You
be
want
can't
to
do
like man,
that.
but the man just disappointed, boy. Two big men can't dominate, and so you got Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively.
but them guys more
Twin
athletic
Towers
though.
peaking.
I think that's what them men got on Rudy and Cat.
Yeah,
Them
yeah,
men more
that's true.
athletic. Them
Yeah,
men them men going up to the ceiling and coming down to the floor with
yeah.
dunks
And
almost
then
every single play. So
the big problem with Cat too, he can't post up PJ Washington. I mean, he's never been only. I feel it a lot of that has to do with weight and size. And I know at the beginning of the season, I know he said that he lost weight to trim down to 34 so he could be a little bit faster. So I don't know, man. The man just disappointed.
We 7 feet tall. You should post up. You should be able to post
But,
up most
but
players.
you still need to be able to have the weight to be able to knock people
You
off
don't
the spot and
you
stuff like
don't
that.
you don't you don't feel 220, 230? How much he weighs?
Yeah, he gotta be like he gotta be like 230, 240
PJ
more than
Washington
lately.
got to be about what 200 pounds at best.
I
but
mean,
man, you
look
know how
at
much energy it takes to post up people if you ain't got that weight differential. You got a certain weight differential to really
yeah, and you
post up.
got leg strength. Cat got toothpicks for legs. So
Facts. Facts.
he never had that work against you from the jump. And he got to rely on upper body weight, probably more than most people. PJ Washington actually not that small. He's 230 weight.
So much
Exactly.
carnage must be. I got
Because
PJ Washington's 230.
Cardinals got
What
to be about the
how old he
same
is?
amount.
He's 6'7".
All right, let's figure. But Carnito's can't be too. Can't. Oh, jeez.
He
You
got
gotta
like
be at least
240.
So he's
to 80
248.
or
Jeez.
something moving a man like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, exactly. That's 80 pounds. That's
But
nothing when you get up in the numbers, man.
that's still more. That's 14 pounds more. That's still
That's he head
that's
and he
still
here, dog. Dying a lot.
yeah. But him
That's
being tall, him being that tall, yeah, he's gonna be a little
And then
lanky.
yeah, just get exactly he does a whole like that's 4 inches taller, 5 inches taller than he.
Yeah,
He only 18 pounds heavier. Like, that ain't that much when you consider height.
yeah.
that's the
Well, that's
blood weight
tough.
and volume difference, be like
That's up. That's still up.
he can't post up that man. Not like that. Not so easy. Maybe lively he could post up, but I mean obviously got lively playing our position. So
Yeah, playing that sorry, yeah, correct.
yeah. And Gafford in the sweep ready to so yeah. Lively and Derek Jones is probably the only two that he could possibly put some weight on.
Right, think about them two men, them man long. So it gotta take
Yeah.
a generational um cat game for them to win. And all the things there for them to do it. Like I feel like out of the duos in the league, I just don't feel like these men got a real duo game. If you get what I'm saying, like, you know how you
Yeah.
can say, all right, you got Jamal Murray and Jokic, you got Embiid and Maxey, you got Luka and Kyrie in this current
Mm.
example. I don't feel like they play off each other enough. to really capitalize on the offensive end, in my opinion. And I don't know what the coaches doing. Point out what first of all, what them individually don't say, yo, we gotta be able to find something that could work for me, so that when it comes down to crunch time, we could follow, fall on this specific play or this specific thing that accentuates the things that we do best. Carl Anthony Towns is one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Anthony Evers is one of the best drivers in the game.
No, not
On
recently.
paper, not recently, on paper, those should be two strengths that create advantages for each other, because Anthony Evers could
The
actually
man says sports don't play on
even,
paper, boy.
I know, leaving cat open for three.
Yeah.
Catch in the trees, opening up space for Anthony Evers to drive, but it just ain't working out. I know they got Rudy and Gadir clogging at the pit to some extent, but I feel like they need to be able to develop a better two-man game when the season is over. Going to lab and really spend time with each other and work on something like that. But we shall see. Sorry for dwelling on it.
Early summer could allow them to do that.
He's summer ain't that early. They get far, just not far enough as I would have wanted to. I mean, ain't done yet, but
It done. It over. Get the vacuum cleaner. Not even the broom. Tell to suck up this dust.
I can't fight you, boy. I ain't got how much faith to fight you. But anyway,
It's fair. Any other more interesting things in the basketball world? It's not a lot much more you can talk about since we've covered the conference.
Nothing concrete, nothing
Any
concrete.
trades? Like I've seen some interesting thumbnails being circulated across YouTube when it comes to trades and trade ideas and stuff like that. For Golden State Warriors, for example, for Lakers, players coming from Nuggets to other places. I've been seeing some thumbnails out there, but
mm.
nothing crazy right
Nothing.
now.
The big news ain't gonna happen until everything finished. To
Yeah,
be honest, off
yeah,
season start,
they don't
free
want to take
agency
the
open.
for the series
Yeah.
itself.
So I guess WNBA side, I can see the WNBA get a lot of traction. They got to thank God for Caitlin Clark. Really and truly, I've never seen so much interest in WNBA since I've been watching basketball. But she's
She
kind
can't
of
cook.
revolutionized. Amara, she revolutionized. Yeah, she bring in money.
Yeah, but they needed
The
us.
end of it.
They needed her to be bowling. But in her
No, it's a girl rookie season. Be like, she got time.
does, but they want to see results. It's something.
Dog. Oh, wait, the NBA season no. I mean the WNBA season no. Sorry,
She was off.
you want situation already?
Hakim on that fire, baby. Fire. Get out of
Actually, there
here
was
with that.
a
Dog.
draft pick got waived after 4 games. I think she was supposed to be the one of the highest scoring NCAA players ever. She got waived after 4 games.
Dog, Caitlin
She
crying
just
getting
got
away after
drafted.
4 games.
One's
Dog,
definitely
she
not.
got
She's
time.
not. She's not gonna get waived. I know that for a fact. But she team over 5
But
man again.
what? All right.
They still need her to.
Dog,
She
They
got to
still
go.
need
it's
her.
probably like 2 weeks into the WNBA season. Be like, come on, come on. We were saying the same thing, but well, not me, but when we start out poor in his rookie season, I love how the season end for he like
He started
he the
poor.
girls some time, dog.
He wasn't playing bad,
Dog, he wasn't playing great.
but
Not
no,
as
He
great
was
as he ended up playing.
at the beginning.
Come on, all right. He was playing bad. Let me say, oh right, he was playing bad at the beginning. 'Cause I don't know how else to put it. He was not great at all to start with,
But he
but he
figured it
might
out.
have something to figure out. Get the girl some grace be.
Hakim, nah. Okay, nah, she gotta go. She gotta go, man.
nah,
Nah.
gotta go, man. Nah, not true. Not true. That's too harsh.
Hakim's found it in his heart to keep somebody. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But nice for the WNBA. Probably ain't gonna watch any of the games though. But nice. I can watch some clips. That's a look cool.
we
man.
gonna see the women dunking though. If women get dunking, I
Why
did
some of
think they
them
would
do?
got a little bit more interest. But them dunks is be, you know what I mean? Not as athletic looking as
I
like
understand, but I mean, they're still athletes. They still
he wants to
put their
still get
heart in line.
hungry.
So one of the big things is want to see as a sports enthusiast is competition. I still think, even though I'm not particularly interested, I know that they can still bring that. I seen it from Caitlin Clark and some of the games that we've seen already. Like, competitors at the end of the day, so people like to see competition, and it's going to continue to grow the sport as more eyes get on it. And shout out to the NBA guys too that have been pushing it too.
Also athleticism. Athleticism is what's really sell.
Oh yes, I understand. I understand. I get it. But they're doing a good job so far with this season to capitalize on the getting cart
Yeah,
fame and publicity and everything like that. So I glad that they get him the shine.
that's good,
All
man.
right.
That's good. That's good. Good luck.
Anything from
Um,
you, Hans? I know you got I guess a quick F1 take. Um Boy
honestly, I
Charles.
didn't really even want to talk about F1, man, because I between two minds
Mm,
with regards to this thing. I think it is time that the Monaco Prix gets blown up and leaves the whole season. I
that's a
This
big thing.
race is the most
Boring.
boring race in the whole wide world.
Yeah, it's a race for great
My
position
goodness,
at the end of the day. What
the race the race ends at qualifying.
after qualifying? Yep.
It's like you can't
You
overtake
can't
because it's
overtake.
small. The circuit, in my opinion, all the runs too small. Like there's not a big long straight, so you can't really use the DRS to really capitalize. The run is not that long. Actually, the straight is not straight. So there is that. And by the time you pass the start finish straight is a 90-degree corner up a hill that you can't overtake because you can't really see where you're going. Then it's just barriers everywhere. So honestly, yes, is a prestigious race. I
Yeah,
get
like
it.
it's a track.
Yes, it's been there for a long time, but F2 was just as boring. F2 is not usually that boring. You know what I mean? So they gotta do something about it. I think this is the year that the results of the race just put the final nail in the coffin,
Yep.
and they should just do away with it. At least this is a good time to end it because Charles get the win. So good, the Monegasque driver get the Monaco win, Grand Prix win. So good, is enough. We finish with it. But to be honest, you could predict the race once qualifying done, and
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
that's
That
just the
is
way
it,
like
it literally
Matt,
happened to a
Matt
T.
not being able to pass anyone.
Mhm.
Holy man. Mercedes keeping Max up there, like that's unheard
Really,
of.
yeah. Yeah.
So on that side of things, kind of down. On the flip side, like you said, happy for Charles, man. The man had two other opportunities that he was on pole. One time he couldn't even start the race because he had a car issue. And then the other time the rain came down and Ferrari team just couldn't get it right. So it was tough luck for the guy, but thankfully he finally got it. And now we got four winners so far for the year, which
Which
is
is
amazing. I like to see it.
amazing.
Um,
Say Piastri
Constructors
next, bro.
Championship. It might be. It just might be.
Maybe.
Man's fast. Man's fast.
Yeah.
Man's matching Norris and sometimes honestly outdoing Norris, outdriving Norris sometimes on pace. So looking forward to see him get that win. He's been he's won a sprint race already. I
Mhm.
don't see why he can't win a Grand Prix.
Future racing. Mhm.
Yeah, considering that he's got a competitive car now, and I think Ferrari's got a lot of confidence. I think McLaren's got a lot of confidence, and I don't think Red Bull, this is my take, this is my big take. I don't think Red Bull is going to win the constructors championship this year.
Ooh.
And I think that I've said it before, but probably not this outright. I just think that there's more competition in the constructors. And the fact that Red Bull hasn't been blitzing everybody for the last three races, I think Max might have a championship fight on his hand as well. So looking forward to those things for sure. I don't know if you got
Sure.
any take on the Grand Prix or what's to come in the future.
How much tickets, man? I know I ain't got any tickets really. I just glad that Charles get the win. I glad to see some competition to some extent. I agree with you when you make it. I didn't look at it from that perspective, but yes, Monaco is synonymous with not being able to really get much over tickets. Pretty much is set from qualifying. The art doesn't change that much unless it crash or I mean, it did crash. The art still ain't changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I find that hilarious.
but any other sports things from your side? You got any information?
Yeah, I want to say this is a pretty big weekend for cricket and for football. Starting with football first, this is the champions final, Real Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund,
Wow.
as this Saturday. So that's a pretty uh, it's a Champions League final. It's
Real
always a
winning
big match.
history.
It's always a big match. Right now, Real Madrid is probably the overwhelming favorite to win the match. That would make it their sixth Champions League victory in I think about 7 or 8 years. I could be mistaken, but they won five. They won like 5-4 on a stretch, and then they won the fifth one I think in the sixth. So this might be their sixth one potentially in 7 or 8 years. But they're playing Borussia Dortmund, which is that team has never won the finals, and there's some for footballers who know there's a player called Marco Reus on Dortmund.
Mm,
It's just his probably
yeah.
his final game for Dortmund. He's retiring, and he's never won.
Mhm.
He made it to the
Big player
finals.
boy.
I think he made it to the finals back in 20. I don't want to say the wrong year, but I think it's been almost 10 years ago. He made it to the finals and he lost. So second time around at the finals, for fans are hoping that he wins because at the end of the day, Real Madrid they don't want Real Madrid to be greedy. They've already won five in a stretch.
Yeah.
Let some other teams get the win. They have the most in history. But at the same time, there's a player Real Madrid called Jude Bellingham. He's English, and the finals is playing in England. And he's a home favorite. So it'd be fitting of him, and this is his very first season at Real Madrid. And he also used to play for Borussia Dortmund. So he left Borussia Dortmund last year, came to Real Madrid this season,
Ooh.
finals playing against his old club, who basically helped him create him to be the player he is today. So it's a lot of
Crazy, crazy.
yeah, definitely a lot going on. So that's a big match. I think that starts at 3 o'clock. And then in terms of cricket, is this Saturday is the first match of the
Yeah, the
T20
first.
World Cup.
Yeah,
So that's a big tournament. I think US is playing Canada as the opening match. I don't know what that match is going to be. I mean, USA and Canada are not really powerhouses in cricket, so you might see some good swiping or some good play. Who knows?
yeah.
But we'll wait and see.
I'm swiping
Um,
that pal thing, boy.
but Canada has some pretty big
And for
players,
cricket,
or at least some good
Mm.
players. So we wait and see. And West Indies is actually playing on Sunday as well too. So they're playing on Sunday in Barbados for their sorry my bad. West Indies is playing on Sunday, but the opening match in Barbados is a different match. So yeah, I think Sunday in Barbados is Oman versus Namibia. So I've never seen these teams
And I'm
play.
like, what the hell
I
is
don't
that?
I don't think
Yeah.
I'm going to see them play, but I'm
cricket,
pretty sure I'm pretty
cricket.
sure it's going to be I'm pretty sure it's going to be a competitive match nonetheless. So
Uh,
log in for those who
right.
really love cricket. Log in and watch these two teams go at it, or go and buy a ticket and go and watch at the Oval, the renovated Oval, forty
I
million
might
dollars
peep
for.
USC and Canada. I might just peep USC and Canada.
So yeah, might too. So yeah, so we wait and see. We
How
wait and
much
see.
for
So that's
them
all.
tickets? Like $30. USC and
I
Canada
the well that's playing actually in America, so I'm not sure the pricing, but the Barbadian
in
matches.
America?
Yeah, that match is in
Boy.
America. So
How?
they're the host.
Yeah.
Well, they're the Americas is the host nation. North America and Central America
Of
or the
of course
Caribbean.
them
Yeah,
The Caribbean.
of
yeah.
course them would include America. Of course. This supposed to be a Caribbean thing. Be America no come out the place.
Nah,
What
I mean,
them
but
doing?
We Barbados is
here,
hosting nine
having it.
matches, so we have 9 matches. We're hosting 9 matches, so it's a pretty good amount. But
Yeah.
the matches that they don't expect to
Yeah,
have a good turnout are much more
but you got
affordable.
Trinidad, Saint Vincent, Grenada, all these other
It's
countries that
it's,
co host Guyana.
yeah, but it's about making money and about spreading the sport. If a market locks
Hey
in,
man,
if a market
the
locks in.
Caribbean will make money. Trust
To be
me.
fair,
Well,
People
Barbados
of the
has
world
9 matches.
watch cricket.
We have nine
that's a good
matches.
amount.
That's a good amount, and that's the including the finals and some knockout
Yeah.
stages. So I mean, I think that must be the most in the Caribbean, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
So
Very
looking
good.
forward to those matches. I just praying that West Indies
Good
makes it to the
stuff.
finals.
That was a
Keep
big goal,
praying,
boy.
buddy. Stand on your
Exactly.
knees.
They have an easy group stage. I mean, like Lord have mercy. They
You,
playing.
you would call it easy. They would
I
call it
know
easy. You would
I
call
know
it
shit.
easy.
I know shit to any team that they're playing against, but I think they're playing. Oh my lord, who they're playing against? No, they're playing
They take them in the same group with the same. Oh man,
They're playing Papua New
are
Guinea
they?
for their first match. Papua New
That's a
Guinea.
tough match.
No shit to. Sorry, I got your face on this one. You serious? Yeah.
That's a tough one. Are you serious?
Uh, what is their rank,
It doesn't even matter at this point.
Bro,
brother?
The West
I
Indies
tell
is find
you,
a way
sports
to
don't play
match
on
that.
paper. Sports do not play on
This one
paper.
playing on paper though.
Cricket is a funny sport too,
And
because
then she's playing Uganda.
one wicket could just change the whole atmosphere of the team entirely. Like
Where if
a
West
early
Indies don't get
wicket
this,
or
if West Indies don't get this wrong, right?
what you gonna do? It's still got a rally, buddy. Yeah.
There is no
Still got a
rally
rally
around
around the West
there's no
Indies, buddy.
rally around the West Indies. There's only rally at Bushy Park. I I I I, I can't. They can't. They come on. This is it is a HC say, you know what? We need West Indies to get far. We need them to be to take back that claim to fame. Let's get us some
I'll be
easy
Yeah,
happy
because
if they would
that's
matches.
a
let them
home
down.
team.
If these
I'll
men
be
lose
highly
or
them
don't
down.
get out, I done support the West Indies for about 5 years
Every
on
bit,
paper.
every West Indian they say that every single year.
I on
Every
I on
West Indian say that
I
every year.
on live. I stopped supporting West Indies for
I,
5 years. They can't. No
I,
way.
and you know what's happened? Within them 5 years, West Indies, the
You just
score they
get
keep doing a blinder, win
exactly man get to the
something,
T20
and then
final.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get
I
the
hear
group
they
stage.
rally. They're singing this song, boy.
Gotta get the group stage. I
Yep.
can. Uh,
What trying to see, man? Honestly, I agree with Hakeem. Is a love hate relationship with the West Indies
It
for real.
is.
nah, I be
But
hating like Kendrick
it is
Lamar.
what it is.
No way. They gotta get out. They got to. But yeah, that's my take. That's it for me for sports.
I
That's
don't
easy.
think that that's the best statement to say when it comes to cricket that they gotta get out. You should say that they gotta make it past the the knockouts. If you say they gotta get out, you might be cursing the man, big man.
Take it too
So
literal.
It's
words,
true.
buddy, words. Anyways, that's it for this stream, peoples. It's been a pleasure sharing the stage with you guys. Appreciate you for coming out, for for giving some hot takes, some interesting takes, some honest opinions as well. Thank you for the viewers. Shout out to Daniel, man. Daniel's a real trooper. Shout out to
Daniel.
Daniel for sending in some comments. We appreciate that. 100. So big up yourself and come back again. Definitely like the take and
Yeah.
thanks for that topic
Yeah, that
on
question
that
that was a
play.
great
That
one.
was very interesting. Um, so yeah, outside of that, if you guys have nothing else to talk about, I out of here. When out of here too.
Yeah, we going.
Peace.
Peace
Blessings.
out.